Hi friends, welcome to another episode of the Makerspace, where we will be exploring some marvelous and exciting engineering creations. Today, Samindra uncle and I are going to be building a robot. Yes, that's right, your very first robot. By building a robot, we will be exploring the concepts of mechanics to do with the robot's motion. Now Samindra uncle here will explain to you the different kinds of motion available in a robot. Samindra uncle?
දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලා ඇති robots ලා ගත්තාම ඒගොල්ලෝ එක එක විදිහට move වෙනවා. කකුල් දෙකේ robots ලා ඉන්නවා. අපි ඒගොල්ලන්ට කියනවා humanoid robots ලා කියලා. ඒ වගේම කකුල් ගොඩාක් තියෙන. එහෙම නැත්නම් පත්තෑයෝ හැකරලා වගේ robots ලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලා ඇති නේද? අපි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ කකුල් ගාන අනුව අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කියන කකුල් 6ක් තියෙන රොබෝ කෙනෙක්ට hex support කෙනෙක් කියලා.
Now have a look at these videos. These will show you some of these robots in action. These robots were actually constructed by Boston Dynamics from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. They are examples of some walking robots.
ඒගොල්ලෝ දැක්කේ පාද සහිත රොබෝලා. ඒ වගේම තව රොබෝලා අපිට move කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් එහෙට මෙහෙට යවන්න පුළුවන් විදිහක් තමයි රෝද භාවිතා කරලා. මේක තමයි වැඩිපුරම භාවිතා වෙන සහ හදන්න ලේසිම රොබෝලා සඳහා තියෙන movement mechanism එක.
Have a look at this video showing few robots that were constructed with the wheels mechanism.
ඊළඟට අපි බලමු තවත් වැඩියෙන්ම භාවිතා වන රොබෝලා සඳහා පාවිච්චි වෙන motion mechanism එකක්. ඒ තමයි crawler belts. එහෙම නැත්නම් දන්වැල්. මේක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හම්බ වෙනවා යුද්ධ ටැංකි වගේ ඒවා. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවද යුද්ධ ටැංකි වල තියෙන විශේෂත්වය මොකද්ද? ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් ඕන ගොඩබිමක යුද්ධ ටැංකියක් ධාවනය කරන්න. බොහොම රළු කටුක ගොඩබිමක යුද්ධ ටැංකියක් ධාවනය කරන්න. ඒ වගේ තමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ crawler belts use කරොත් රොබෝ කෙනෙක්ට crawler belts පාවිච්චි කරලා රොබෝ කෙනෙක් හැදුවොත් ඒ රොබෝටත් ඒ හැකියාවම ලැබෙනවා. බොහොම රළු මතු පිටක් මත ධාවනය කරන්න පුළුවන්කම.
Now have a look at this final video that shows a robot that was constructed using this mechanism. Alright friends, now that you saw this different types of motion mechanisms available to build robots, let's discuss a little bit about it. When it comes to doing robotics projects, you use various types of engineering. You will use mechanical engineering to construct the different mechanical structures to do with the robots. You will also use electronics to build the various circuits involved. We'll be learning in electronics in the next lesson. You also need certain amounts of computer programming to program these robots. Therefore, it's necessary that you have a wide array of exposure to different engineering techniques. You will be learning these different techniques if you continuously watch the Makerspace program. But today, we will be focusing on one area of building a robot. That's right, the motion mechanism, as we talked about it before. Now, let's look at the problem that we are trying to solve by building this kind of stomping robot. Now, Samindra uncle, do you know that in our environment, we find different kinds of surfaces, right?
Exactly.
You find, uneven surfaces as well as uneven surfaces. Give me some examples of some uneven surfaces.
Like your garden?
Yes, your garden. Your garden has a lot of rocks and grass and grasshoppers. Right? It's very uneven. For another example, maybe staircases.
Exactly.
Then what about some even surfaces?
Your home floor?
Yes, the floor at your home, or maybe even this working board over here. It's an even surface, isn't it? So, our challenge today is to build a robot that can go on both even and non-even surfaces. Doesn't this sound challenging? But doesn't this sound fun as well?
Exactly.
Remember what we said to you in the first lesson of the Makerspace. Design is very important before you build something. Therefore, let's go ahead and design this stomping bot. For you to design, you need two things. First, we will show you what a completed stomping bot looks like. And second, we will take you through the components required to build the stomping robot. Alright, let's look at the completed stomping bot for you to get an idea of what we are building. So now we had a look at the completed stomping bot. Let's go ahead and see how we can design it. Samindranka, can you explain to us what are the components that we need to build our stomping robot?
Yes, Jan. So we'll be using a few day-to-day household items like a soap box, a couple of batteries, a battery holder, and a switch to switch our bot on and off, and a piece of circuit wire, a popsicle stick, and we call this a round stick, another type of craft stick, and a straw, and a gear motor. Right?
What is a gear motor?
Yes. So now since our bot need lot of power, a normal motor alone can't power up our bot.
Now before that, do you know what a motor is? Where do you find motors at your home? Yes, that's right. On the ceiling fan. Where else? In your mother's kitchen maybe? That's right. The blender, the food mixer, they have motors in it. A motor makes something rotate around. Now let's find out what a gear motor is.
ජිහන් කිව්වා වගේ සාමාන්‍ය මෝටරයක් කියන්නේ බොහොම අඩු බලයක් තියෙන මෝටර එකක්. ඒක අපි ඊට පස්සේ ගියර් බොක්ස් එකකට හයි කරොත් අපිට හම්බ වෙනවා ගියර් මෝටර් එකක්. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා ඇති වාහනවල තියෙන ගියර් බොක්ස් එක ගැන. ගියර් ලීවර් එකෙන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ වාහනේ ස්පීඩ් එක වගේම බලය වෙනස් කරන්න හැකියාව ලැබෙනවා.
Alright, that sounds exciting, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and let's do the design for the stomping bot so that we know exactly what we are building. Let's go ahead.
So we'll be using our soap box as the casing or the body for the stomping bot, and we of course need to use the gear motor, so which we'll be fixing right at the middle like this.
As he's doing right now, always make sure to label your designs when you do them. Now he has labeled the soap box over here, and he's labeling the gear motor. Is that right? Oh yes.
So you have two axles out of the gear motor, and we need to actually extend these axles out of the robot, right? Because this soap box looks long.
So this is the two axles of the gear motor. As you can see, there are two pieces coming out of the yellow box like compartment. So this is what we have actually drawn over here. Is that right, Uncle Samindra?
Exactly. So we'll be fixing the gear motor right at the center of the soap box, and now we need to extend these axles, right? So for that we'll be using this craft stick, what we call a round stick. අපිට පුළුවන් මේ විදිහට මේකෙන් කොටස් දෙකක් එහෙම නැත්නම් කෑලි දෙකකට කපලා මේ round stick එක අපේ gear motor එක axle එක extend කරන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් දික් කරගන්න යොදා ගන්න. ඒත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ හිතනවාද ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් වෙයි කියලා මේ round stick එක නිකම්ම මෙන්න මෙහෙම gear motor එකට අලවන්න? Won't it be strong enough, right?
No, it won't. This will just snap out.
Exactly. So what we'll be doing is we'll be using this piece of straw to cover the binding joint.
So we use that for the connection point, right?
Exactly. අන්තිම කොටස අපේ mechanism එකේ අපි ඒගොල්ලන්ට කකුල් හයි කරන එක. ඒකට අපි කරන්නේ popsicle stick එකක් මේ විදිහට කෑලි දෙකකට කපලා round stick එකට අලවන එක. And next is wiring up the robot because it needs power to move, right? So we'll be having the battery pack somewhere over here, which holds 2 batteries, and I'll draw the wires with color red so that it'll be easier for you all to understand. Here we connect the red wire out of the battery pack directly with the gear motor. What about the switch? Do you know how to connect a switch? කොහොමද switch එකක් අපි පරිපත් එකකට එහෙනම් circuit එකකට high කරන්නේ. ඒකදී ඇත්තටම වෙන්නේ අපි කෙලින්ම high කරන wire එකක් දෙකට මැද්දෙන් කඩලා ඒකට තමයි අපි switch එක high කරන්නේ. එතකොට වෙන්නේ ඒ switch එකෙන් අපේ සම්පූර්ණ පරිපතය complete circuit එක කැඩෙන එක.
Now we made our own circuit in the earlier episode where we did a tripwire circuit. In that we created our very own switch, right? So you could see when you close and open that closed spec, the switch is turning on and off just like this. This is called a normal switch that you can actually turn on and off. So that is what he's going to be drawing in the design over here.
So if I simply put, what a switch does is breaking and reconnecting a circuit, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'll have the switch over here. It should be on the lid actually, but I'll just draw it here like this. So there'll be the remaining wire, which I'll draw with black again because it's the black wire.
So you know, in the battery pack you find the negative terminal and the positive terminal, and it has 2 wires for that, the red wire and the black wire.
So you connect the black wire directly out of the battery pack to the switch, and you are left with 1 terminal of the switch. So you connect that terminal using an extra piece of wire to the motor.
And what happens when you turn on this switch?
The circuit completes and the motor works.
And the 2 legs move round and round, making our stomping bot to move. Now, did you see the importance of doing your design before you build it? You can understand all the components when it comes to doing your creation very clearly. Now that we have completed the design for the stomping bot, let's go ahead to build it. Yes, that's the most exciting part. We will be using the glue gun in this activity as well to complete the construction of the stomping bot. So let's get started with the building. Let's get started with the first step to build the stomping bot. The first step is to build the basic on and off circuit. Samindranka, can you show us how to do that?
Of course. So the importance of doing it at first is if this motor doesn't work by any chance, because there can be technical faults, right? If it doesn't work, after you fix it, you'll have to like break everything again and replace the motor and do it again, right?
So let's start by taking off the 2 batteries from the casing, and always make sure to keep your workstation clean. So always dispose your garbage when you're working on your workspace.
So as you all already know, the flat side or the negative side of the battery goes to the spring of the battery case. Again here also flat side or the negative to the spring. Then we can just check the motor by attaching the two wires to the motor like this.
So the motor has two terminals in it. Can you see over here? So you connect one wire to one of these terminals and the other wire to the other terminal of the motor. Let's try it.
There it works.
Can you see this? You may not hear this, but there is a small sound that the gearbox makes when the motor rotates. This happens when a gear motor is working.
මට තේරුණාද ජිහන් මේකේ වෙනසක් තියෙනවා වේගයේ සාමාන්‍ය මෝටර එකකට වැඩිය.
ඔව් සමේන්ද්‍ර මේකේ වේගය ඇත්තම කියනවා නම් අඩුයි සාමාන්‍ය මෝටර එකකට වඩා.
හැබැයි සාමාන්‍ය මෝටරයක් වගේ නෙමෙයි ඕගලන්ට බෑ මේක අතින් අල්ලලා නවත්තන්න. ඔන්න බලන්නකෝ.
Let me just try it to see if that works. That is quite hard. Even with all the strength I have, it's very impossible to stop that gear motor from rotating.
හැමදේම මේකේ තියෙන පුංචි ගියර් බොක්ස් එක නිසා. දැන් අපි බලමු අපේ ගියර් මෝටර් එකට කොහොමද ස්විච් එක සම්බන්ධ කරන්නේ කියලා.
So as you can see, he just peeled off the two wires of the battery pack and now he's just twisting it. Right? As we said before, you should always try to twist your wire so that you can easily insert it onto a terminal.
Exactly. So Jihan, did you notice that this battery pack doesn't have a black wire?
Yes, I actually did. One of them is yellow. What does that mean?
මේකත් සාමාන්‍ය බැටරි පැක් එකක් වගේම තමයි රතු වයර් එකෙන් ඕගලන්ට පුළුවන් පොසිටිව් ටර්මිනල් එක. එහෙම නැත්නම් ධන අග්‍රය අඳුර ගන්න. කහ වයර් එක. මේක තමයි අත්‍තරම කළු වයර් එක වෙනුවට තියෙන්නේ. කළු වයර් එක වගේමයි පාට විතරයි වෙනස්. මේකෙන් ඕගලන්ට පුළුවන් නෙගටිව් ටර්මිනල් එක එහෙම නැත්නම් ඍණ අග්‍රය අඳුර ගන්න.
Okay. So let's go ahead and attach this on into the circuit for the switch.
So as I mentioned in the design, red wire goes directly to the motor. So you can connect it directly with the motor like this. If you can see this motor, the terminal of the motor has a small hole in it.
So you just need to insert the wire through the hole.
Exactly. මේ මාරගෙන ඕගලන්ට පුළුවන් මේම ඒ සිදුර හරහා මේ වයර් එකේ කොප වයර් එක දාලා මේ විදිහට නමලා පොඩ්ඩක් ඒක ට්විස්ට් කරන්න. එතකොට මේක ගැලවෙන්නේ නැහැ.
Did you see that?
අපි ඔයගලන්ට ඉස්සරහ ලෙසන් එකදී කියලා දෙනවා සෝල්ඩර් කරන හැටිත්. ඒතර on the perfect connection එකක් ගන්න ඔයගලන්ට ඕනනම් පුළුවන් මේක සෝල්ඩර් කරන්න.
Now we are going to attach the switch to this basic circuit. Is that right?
Exactly.
So let's cut the circuit wire in half and let's peel off the two ends. And as I said before, you should always twist the wire so that it's easy to insert it through the terminal of the motor or even the switch.
මම කලින් කිව්වා වගේ එක කළු වයර් එක යන්නේ එක ටර්මිනල් එකකට ස්විච් එකේ. ඒකත් අර වගේම මෙහෙම සිදුර හරහා දාලා ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් මේක මේ විදිහට
Twist
අමරන්න.
it in place just like that. And now we are going to fix the other wire that we just cut on into the terminal of the switch. And finally, the other wire, the other end of the wire, you connect it to the motor. Simply like that. You can also refer to this image that we are showing you now when you go ahead to create this basic circuit to attach the switch.
Now I'm going to switch it on and off. I'm going to switch it on. There the motor works.
Can you see that? The motor is rotating. The axle is rotating. Shall I switch it off?
Of course, you should.
Did you see? The gear motor stops working. Let's get started with building the structure of the stomping board.
So there, the first step will be to pinch two holes on this soap box. So for that, we'll be using a Phillips screwdriver, which has a point. So you take the two sides like this.
Be careful when you do this step. Make sure not to pinch your hand by using this screwdriver. So be careful when you do this.
Because it can sometimes actually slip.
Yes,
right?
it can slip off the soap box because it's made of plastic.
Okay,
There you go. You made a hole just like that. But now can you insert the round stick through that? You can't. So let's make it a little bit bigger. Want a scissor maybe?
Yes. So we can actually use one blade of the scissor to make this hole a bit big, like this. A bit more. So now you should be able to insert the round stick through the hole like this. See? So it can freely spin as well. ඊළඟ ස්ටෙප් එක තමයි ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන අනිත් සිදුර මේ හදපු සිදුරට හරියටම අලයින් කරලා එහෙම නැත්නම් සමපාත කරලා එහා පැත්තෙන් හදා ගන්න. ඒකට ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් මේ විදිහට බලලා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් S මට්ටමට සිදුරක් හදා ගන්න.
Or you can do one other thing, Uncle Samindra. You can maybe put this stick like that and align this perfectly straight and mark the other point.
Exactly, good idea. So I'll hold it like this and mark it from this side.
There you go.
So you just made the mark, then you can pinch through.
Precision is an important thing to follow when you build different engineering creations. So that slight angle when you try to make the holes may affect the quality of the final engineering creation. Therefore, do not hurry when you are building something. Always try to build precisely.
Exactly.
So let's make that hole a little bit bigger as well, because we want the round stick to freely rotate around that hole.
Now I can put this round stick through both the holes and see if it can spin freely. So you may use the plier to cut off the excess plastic around the hole. There you go.
Lovely. Can you see that Uncle Samindra is an engineer with a lot of precision in his work?
Now the next step is to use the round stick to extend the axle of this motor,
just like we discussed in the design of the stomping board.
So what I'll do is I'll cut this round
hold
stick.
it from here?
Yes, sure. Thank you.
There you go.
Like this. So you get two halves like this. And the next step is to use two pieces of straw. So I'll cut a piece off like this, about this length, just an inch or two. Another piece. So you get two pieces like this. So the first step will be to paste the straw onto the axle of the motor. So we
are using a glue gun, right?
So what you have to do is you have to apply a small amount of glue around the axle of the motor. But you have to make sure that hot glue doesn't touch the body of the motor. So what will happen if it touches the body of the motor, Jahan?
Well, it doesn't rotate, then it will get fixed. The axle will get fixed to the body, and then your robot will just not move.
Exactly.
Again, precision.
And you insert the straw like this. A small amount of glue may clog around the body. ඒ ටික ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් මේ විදිහට අතින් ඒක චුට්ටක් වේලුණාම ඉවත් කරලා දාන්න. අපි මේකම අනිත් පැත්තට කරමු. glue පොඩ්ඩක් මෙහෙම දාලා straw එක අරගෙන මේ විදිහට අලෝගමු.
But Samindra, we have to make sure that these two straws are aligned as well, right?
Exactly. See, I removed the excess glue as well, so that it doesn't get stuck to the body of the motor. Now the next step will be to fix the round sticks onto the straws. So what we'll do is, you have to put some glue on top of the round stick like this.
And a little bit around it as well, right?
Exactly.
On the tip of one end.
So here you may need a lot of glue.
And you will insert it through the straw, just like that, gently. There you go.
I'll repeat it for the other side as well.
Make sure to fix this piece very securely and tightly in place, because when the stomping board moves, it moves on uneven surfaces. Therefore, it may remove the leg if it's not fitted properly.
මේ පැත්ත සාමාන්‍ය ප්‍රමාණයට වේලිලා නිසා අර වැඩිපුර glue ඔයගලන්ට මේ විදිහට අයින් කරගන්න පුළුවන්.
It's all about troubleshooting. When you come across an obstacle, make sure you know how to solve that problem. That is another very important quality that an engineer should have. All right, now we have centered the gear motor. Now it's time to paste it in place.
Exactly. So center it properly like this, and you need to put some flip it around like this. Apply some glue over here and nicely paste it like this.
Lovely.
Okay. So the next step will be to paste the battery pack. So you apply a little bit of glue and paste it.
So always paste the battery pack in a way that you can actually replace the batteries, because if these batteries run out, you should be able to simply open the lid of the stomping board and just put in 2 new batteries.
And you have to make sure that the battery pack doesn't touch the axle.
Very important. Now what's our next step, Uncle Samindra? Do we fix the 2 legs of the stomping board as we have mentioned in the design over here?
Yes, we can. And you may find these sticks way too long. So maybe you can use the plier and cut these ends off a bit like this.
There you go, it goes flying around.
And the other end like this.
Okay.
Nice. Then you take the popsicle stick, cut that in halves. There you go. So you have 2 pieces like this.
Do you see what an important and useful tool this plier is? It's very important that you have one lying around if you are an engineer or a little engineer.
And you apply some glue onto one end.
And you paste it over there. There you go. You may have to hold it in place, because until it gets solidified, it may come off like that. When you fix the other leg, you fit it exactly 180 degrees opposite to the first leg. That is on opposite sides. Hold it in place until it's solidified.
ඔයගලන්ට පේන ඇති දැන් මේ ධ්‍යාන අංක කිව්වා වගේ කකුල් දෙක එහෙම නැත්නම් legs දෙක විරුද්ධ දිශාවල් වලට තමයි මුල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. එක popsicle stick එකක් ඔයගලගේ දකුණු අත පැත්තට නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ අනිත් popsicle stick එක අලවන්න ඕන ඔයගලගේ වම් අත පැත්තට.
Have the legs solidified now, Uncle? Can we try it out? Maybe a little bit more time.
Exactly.
So don't hurry. Make sure. So don't hurry. Make sure to wait until the glue has dried to try it out. We can try it out now.
ඒ වගේම තමයි ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙනවා නම් මේකේ ශක්තිමත් බව පොඩ්ඩක් මදි කියලා ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් මේ විදිහට තව glue පොඩ්ඩක් මෙහෙම වටේට දාලා මේ පාදය හොඳට ශක්තිමත් කරන්න.
But make sure not to apply glue on the surface of the soap box. Then again, the legs will be stuck.
Exactly.
Also, one thing that you must remember is when you put some hot glue over some already applied glue, it may melt the other glue as well. Therefore, for example, when you're applying glue here, try to hold on to this popsicle stick because it may come off.
And it takes when you put lot of glue, it takes some time, some more time to solidify. At this stage, you can actually test out your stomping board. So we'll switch it on.
Wow!
Wow!
Isn't that cool? Our very own walking robot.
මේ ස්ටේජ් එකේදී ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් අතරම මේකේ මොන හරි ගැටලු ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අපි තමු බැලන්ස් එක නැති වෙලාද එහෙම නැත්නම් වෙන මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවද කියලා අඳුර ගන්න. Then the final step.
What is the final step? Is it is fixing the switch?
Exactly. The final step is to fix the switch onto the lid. So before that, you can actually close it and see if it closes perfectly, because there can be some components popping out, so that it blocks the closing of the lid. So it perfectly closes. So I'll open it. So the switch will be fixed somewhere over here, if you can see. So I'll take the plier.
There you go.
Thank you. And cut a small, I'll make a small cut like this so that I can fix the switch.
As you can see, that soap box is really easy to make small hole by using the plier again.
There you go. You can simply pop the switch out of this hole that I just made.
When you do that, make sure that the wires are not removed when you pull the switch out. There you go. So we have fitted the switch in place and we put the lid back on top. This completes the basic stomping board. Alright, now that we have built the basic stomping board, let's give it a little bit of life by pasting two eyes. Shall we do that?
Of course. So I have two googly eyes with me. ඔයාලන්ට මේ මාර බෝනික්කන්ගේ තියෙන ඇස් හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්.
There you go, one eye, and our stomping board is going to have two eyes, just like that. Wow, we just gave it life. Do you want to see the stomping board in action? Let's switch it on.
There you go.
Amazing. Let's have a look. Let's keep it over here. Did you see how the stomping board is even able to climb this working board? This stomping board can actually walk in both even and uneven surfaces. If you try to keep this stomping board outside in your garden where there is grass or rocks, this will still work. So, hope you enjoyed building the stomping board in this week's episode of the Makerspace.
And make sure that you make more modifications onto this robot so that it will be more cool.
Always make sure, if you do this at home, to send us some photographs to our Facebook page at A+TV. Also, if you want to try out building the stomping board at your home, we will be sending you all the necessary components, even the soap box, the gear motor and all of it, if you subscribe to Igniter B, which is a home makerspace delivery subscription. To find out more details about Igniter B, visit www.igniterb.com.
ඒ වගේම ඔයගලන්ට අපිත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න පුළුවන් 0111 45 46 566 කියන දුරකථන අංකයෙන්. ඔයගලන්ගේ අදහස් යෝජනා චෝදනා තියෙනවා නම් ඒවත් ඔයගලන්ට අප වෙත එවන්න පුළුවන් 295 9A පැලැන්වත්ත පන්නිපිටිය කියන ලිපිනයට.
Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Try this at home and let us know how it went. Hope to see you in the next episode where we will be exploring some very interesting fields of engineering and we will be building some exciting creations. Until then, bye bye.